afternoon, everybody. My name is Jacob Ochoa, your host for the Thrive in District 5 podcast, here with Supervisor Ixtin Gutierrez. Today, we have a big treat for you guys. We're going to recap the year 2023 and, of course, your first year in office as a supervisor of the 5th District. Let's talk about the amazing programs and initiatives that we've launched this year. I know it's been a busy one getting the year going, but let's get started.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, first, thank you, Jacob, for hosting this podcast once again.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate it. You do such a fantastic job, and we're really thrilled with so many of the programs that we've been able to accomplish, in fact, in 2023. It's been a very hectic year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I could say that. I can vouch for that. We've been pretty busy, but, we have a great team, and, just really hitting the ground running, hitting the floor running. We've tackled a lot.
Absolutely. And in terms of tackling a lot, too, I mean, one of the things I can say is that we first had to start from the very beginning. In terms of establishing the team. Finding the folks to create this District 5 team to really carry out the services was a big, huge task. In addition, opening up our satellite offices this past year, whether it was an office in Beaumont, an office in San Jacinto Animal Shelter, an office in Cabazon or Moreno Valley, or even in Riverside, obviously, that was a big task to do. And so we were able to do that, but at the same time, creating some of these programs. Looking forward to sharing some of that.
Yeah, so as our viewers know, we've launched a couple of programs. But before we dive into the programs and giving them the descriptions about it, let's talk about the challenges that we've faced, the challenges you faced as supervisor. What would you say is the biggest challenge when launching something new, and then the ongoing challenges once those programs are already hitting, they're already launched? So,
well, I think there's challenges both personally, and then there's challenges both, through the organization as well. One of the things that I've noticed that's a challenge is that when you create a program, starting to create a program, now you have to actually execute the program. So right now we've created so many great programs, and now we're in the phase where we have to execute and establish these programs. Like, for example, the Homeless to Work program, the Employer Connect, the Hire a Senior, Hire a Vet. These are all great programs that our office was able to establish this year. However, we have to now execute it.
Yeah.
And we have to deliver.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that saying, actions speak louder than words, right?
Yep.
So we definitely are in that phase. I would say that's the biggest challenge, in coming from city to county.
Yeah.
Is because it's such a larger organization, and it's not to blame anyone, sometimes things can take a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, I mean, just behind the scenes, is you serve 13 different cities and 4 unincorporated areas, correct? Did I get that right?
Well, actually 6 cities and 8 unincorporated areas.
Okay, so pretty off.
Yeah, but
we lose count with how many people we actually do serve in the county. Just in your 5th district alone, Moreno Valley, obviously you know that city really well, being the mayor of 7 years there. That's the largest city in our district.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's the largest city in the district and the second largest city in the county. And then speaking to the district, just our district alone of 500,000 residents, Jacob, we're actually larger than 41 counties. And there's only 58 counties in California, and we're larger than 41 counties.
Right. And I mixed that number there for a brief second, because even though we do have boundaries, we never deny service to anyone.
Absolutely.
So when we get the calls in the office, we try to get the help that the constituent needs right away. And you're big on customer service, right? So much like the programs that you've launched, it's going to be customer service oriented, and we have a initiative.
Yes.
Right? We have a goal. What's that goal?
Yes, no, absolutely. It's to provide, be people focused, right? And provide that compassion and making sure that we're very strategic in every decision that we do when we get that phone call from that resident.
Right.
That's actually our vision statement, to be very, very people focused. And then our mission statement is to do that through compassion and strategic planning.
Yes.
But I'm really excited to share a recap, actually, of the amazing programs that we've actually done.
Yeah, that's been great. And then just to kind of switch hats here, so a lot of the nonprofits and a lot of different organizations, right? You've been handing out checks. Those hit your Instagram pretty fast. So with somebody, looking at that, what would they say? What's their response? Like, who have you helped and why?
Yeah, so every district office receives unincorporated community initiative funds and also community improvement designation funds. And that's a mouthful, right?
Right.
But basically, they're two pots of funds, and with those funds, we try to help. The objective is to help the community, right?
Yeah.
So community improvement designation funds. And so this can be nonprofits, it can be cities, it could be school districts, and really making sure that we're giving back to the community and leveling the playing field in terms of where the gap is, right? And filling that gap. And so we've helped organizations like Boxing for Christ.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, that helps a lot of at-risk youth out in the Hemet and San Jacinto area.
Yeah.
We've helped chambers of commerce that help drive the economic development, and they're that economic development engine for businesses in the county. So we've helped them. We've also helped youth groups as well that help our seniors too. So we're helping so many different organizations. And so we want to make sure that we share that story, that we're letting the community know, that we're letting the county know, the residents know that the 5th District is very, very people-focused, and we want to make sure that we're giving back to the community.
Yes, absolutely. And then I will say too, where the most need is, right?
Absolutely.
That's also really big too. But
And that's why, Jacob, we look at where those needs are, right? And sometimes we will approach those nonprofits or cities or organizations, and then other times they'll approach us.
Right.
And then we have a committee that evaluates their application to make sure that, it's for the right cause, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and we have documentation.
Supervisor, I just need to ask you, it's been a busy year, and we all know that.
It has been.
So I want to ask you, if you just can recap some of the bigger things that we've done your first year in office and the things that you've done and really taking the bull by the horns and just wanted to tackle what was your approach this year, and then just really dive into and let it pour out, man. It was busy.
Yes, it definitely was, Jacob. One of the biggest highlights I could say is some of the programs that we've created. So, for example, we started a program called Homeless to Work, where we're providing part-time employment for folks that are home challenged or unhoused. Right. And we also provide them with wraparound services. We also started a program called Hire a Vet and Hire a Senior and Hire District 5.
Yeah.
These programs, we provide stipends to the employers and stipends to the employees for the Hire a Vet and Hire a Senior program. So we have those programs created, but now we have to execute those programs, like I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
So that's the key component as well. We also have another program that I'm very excited about called the Employer Connect.
That one's interesting.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
And this one is really important because we actually help pay for their wages for 90 days of an employee. So that's a really good program too. And then we've also, one of the things that I'm very proud of as well with our team in terms of establishing the team is that we've done a great job of outreach. With our Instagram, with our Facebook, with our newsletters, with our magazine as well that we're doing as well, and our podcast.
Yeah, well.
So we're really excited about that. I'm very excited about that. And I'm looking forward to this new year because I think we're going to gain some momentum there.
No, we definitely are. I mean, there's no momentum to be lost, right? We're just going to pick up right where we left off. So, what would you say going into the 2024, your second year in office? What do you have planned?
No, well, absolutely. So the biggest plan that I have is to continue that engagement, with all of these programs, so that way we can execute those programs. Because now we have to deliver. Right. Like I mentioned earlier as well, we have to deliver for our residents. We have the programs in place. The RFPs, requests for proposals, have gone out for many of these programs.
Yes.
And now we actually have to implement them. Right. And continue to keep the public engaged. One of the biggest challenges that I've mentioned in the past is really getting that information out there. Yeah. Right? Remember how in one of the first podcasts I remember mentioning, Jacob, that we don't have that media market.
No,
right?
we don't.
Yeah,
no.
So we really got to get that message out there. And so the main message that I would say to residents is that if you hear about one of our programs,
ask.
and maybe the program doesn't benefit that person, but you know what, it may benefit someone in their family or a friend or a neighbor. So share
Right.
that program out to other people.
Right, it's just as simple as see something, say something.
Absolutely.
Right, that slogan. So Supervisor, it sounds like 2023 was the start of the race. 2024, we're going to keep a nice and steady pace. How do you like that?
Absolutely, I like
Okay,
it. I love that
okay.
theme.
All right, cool.
Might have to change our theme.
No, no, no. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in on the Thrive in District 5 podcast. We just appreciate your viewing, and we want to wish you a happy holidays. So thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.